I grew up doing it, and I just have a love for being outside. I love the childhood that I was provided, being able to be with my mom and dad, you know, work alongside them. I want that for me and my children. And I think that going to school and learning accounting was helpful for our business also, because I'm able to do a lot of the bookwork and payroll and things for not only our farm, but for my parents' family farm as well. And so even though I didn't get an education in agriculture, I feel like the education that I did bring home is beneficial to us here in our life.
I knew that I wanted to go into agriculture from a young age. I loved growing up on a family farm, hunting and doing all the things that the lifestyle provided us. I went to college, got an education in agriculture, and I came back my first summer out of college. My dad had cancer. I got kind of thrust into a leadership position, and I took over that fall and continued growing the farm from there.
So when I came back from college, I was actually still in school when he graduated, and when he took over the farm, I came home and continued my education through WSU online. And he needed me for bookkeeping and helping around the farm, and so when I came home, I got thrown into the midst of all of it and taking over a lot of bookwork and payroll and things that I had not yet even gotten to in school. And so a lot of the education that I received was hands-on, learning by mistakes, and working with a lot of wonderful people in our community that have stepped up and helped me learn a lot of the things that we needed to know. And so as I got more educated in school, I was also getting an education by just having to learn.
I grew up in a farming family on the farm, but there was so many aspects of farming that I had no idea about, things that I think my dad probably shielded me from. So when I came back from college, it was on-the-job training. It was learning the ins and outs of orcharding, not from a textbook standpoint, not from a child growing up on the farm standpoint. It was a difficult transition, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I kept going, we kept making decisions, and got us to where we are today. And I think that's the most important thing as a young grower, is building relationships within the grower community. Horticultural advice, experience, that's one tiny aspect of farming. I think the biggest aspect of it is what varieties, what markets to sell into, where to take your fruit, and how you manage growth of your farm. Growth is incredibly hard without borrowing tremendous amounts of money. Fortunately, we have not borrowed money from the bank, but we did follow our love, and we're gonna be orchardists, rain or shine.
When I moved home to take over and help him with bookkeeping and stuff here, I was also able to get a job at the warehouse in Orville, and I took over doing all of their payroll and accounts payable. And I would say that most of the training and education that helped me personally with what I'm doing today came from that experience in that warehouse. And I learned so much, and I came home every day and I'd be like, oh, I learned this today at work, and now I know how I should be doing this at home. And it was extremely also connecting me to people that knew so much more than I did, and they were able to help me in my spare time or after work. I would bring in something and be like, hey, I'm trying to figure out how we should be doing this, and they were able to give me guidance to get me through whatever that problem was, which was extremely helpful.
I would say when I got out of college, the biggest thing that was lacking for my education was practical experience. You can take a horticultural class, but until you actually are growing anything with your own money on your own land, you have zero idea of what it really takes. I would say my biggest interest that I gained out of college was geospatial analysis, precision ag. I really wanted to find a way to bring that to the orchards of the Okanagan Valley. It hasn't quite got there yet, but I think as we grow and the next generation will use that to make all these orchards better and more productive. I think the biggest piece of advice I would give a young or a new grower is build relationships within our community of growers. Find someone that grows near you, learn what they have learned. Don't go through the school of hard knocks. We have so much resources. All of us old farmers are approachable, and 99% of them are really, really good, honest, straightforward people that are willing to give the shirt off their back.
That when we got thrown in to kind of our own little operation, I realized how very little we knew just on our own, because as the third generation, I was doing my jobs and I was contributing and I was being extremely helpful, but I knew very little about the actual undertaking of the farm. Yep. I didn't know finances, I didn't know, the cost of the spray bill. All of that stuff is like above your pay grade. As the younger me, I would have learned more as I was younger and like tried to take in as much information as I could from my dad and my grandpa, not so much on a day-to-day, job, but like the underworkings of the farm, because that's
30,000 foot view.
Yes, because that's the stuff that's going to help you later.